It's 9 a.m. You know what that means. It's time. It's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. It's time to wake up. And not to wake up, but to rise with purpose, ladies and gentlemen. Rise with meaning. Rise with direction. Don't just wake up on accident, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just wake up like you're trying to figure out what you're doing today. No, wake up and make a plan. Make a plan. Figure out what you want to do with your day and go do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't let the crazy curls in your hair stop you from doing what you got to do today. Do what you got to do. You know, when you wake up in the morning, it's a beautiful world. I wanted to celebrate today. Today is not about me being angry. Today is not me about me trying to get inside your head. Today is about me celebrating, thanking God for the blessings that I have in my life. And I want to thank God for you. I want to thank God for bringing you here, for letting you be here in this moment so that I can share this moment with you. You know, I can't explain to you how crazy it is to me some days to think about the amount of people that this reaches and the amount of people that this can help. You know, having the ability to, one, learn the tools that I learned from Tony Robbins in order to help people, but also to be able to create a community of people that I can honestly help, that I can make a difference with. You know, like, this is what I was born for. This is what I was made for. God created me in order to be a person out here helping people. And I have been depressed for a good portion of my life. Why? Because I wasn't living my dream, because I wasn't living my passion. But I want to celebrate the fact that I know that now. I want to celebrate the fact that we know that now, that we're not just on autopilot, that we're out here making a difference. You know, like, my body feels so much better getting out here and doing this work. You know, putting in the work, taking the time every day and devoting it to myself. You know, yes, I get up and I do my best to motivate other people. But what you guys need to understand is for the first time in my life, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing stuff for me. I'm choosing things that I need other than the needs of other people. I'm choosing the things that I need in order to help other people. Me and this hat ain't getting along today. Hold on. We're going back to a classic. All right, there we go. My hair's still wet. That hat wasn't going with it very well. But I want to talk to you guys today about celebration. You know, we get so caught up in trying to get to the destination that we're trying to reach that we lose the ability to appreciate the journey. We lose the ability to appreciate where we are because we're so focused on where we want to get to that we don't appreciate where we are. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Being grateful and celebrating where you are. You will always be making progress. You will always be making progress. But what I want you to understand is that there are other people watching you. There are people right now that you hold influence over that you're not aware of. There are people right now in your life that absolutely need you and need this, but don't know how to ask for it. So, what can you do to help those people? How do you help people that are too proud to tell you that they need help? How do you do that? You can only do it by showing them. There's a lot of people out in the world today that they get so caught up in trying to talk themselves into a situation that they never actually take action. You know, I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to make a plan for your day and take the action in order to make it happen. You know, I can sit here all day and talk about the theory of life, the theory of being happy. But unless you put these things into action, you're just watching a video. You might as well be watching reality TV. Unless you put these things into action, you're not going to make a difference in your life. I need you to understand that. I can sit here every morning and motivate you, but unless you're really doing the work, unless you woke up this morning and you were like on a scale of 1 to 10, where's my energy? Am I a 1? Am I a 10? Or am I somewhere in between? If you start doing that, you will start monitoring and observing yourself and being accountable to your energy levels. If you want to wake up in the morning and you always want to be at a 10, eventually, if you keep putting in the work, your body will get you to a 10 every morning without you having to put in the work. But you have to make the decision. See, it's a choice, ladies and gentlemen. It's a choice for you to choose to be happy. I can give you every tool in the world, but it doesn't mean that you are going to choose happy. You have to choose happy. I know that it's hard. I know that it's hard to be in a world where you're told to segregate, where you're told to separate, where you're told being an individual is not a good thing, that you want to be part of the herd mentality. But what I'm telling you is the herd has gone off course. The herd is going towards a cliff. And if you're not smart enough to understand that you're your own person, you're going to follow the whole herd right off the cliff. Ladies and gentlemen, I really need you to understand this morning. I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm not trying to stress myself out or stress you out. I need you to celebrate the moments that you have, the influence that you have, and celebrate the fact that you can make a difference in someone's life. But you cannot make a difference in their life if you don't make a difference in yours. If you don't start to celebrate everything that you're going through, if you don't start to celebrate the work that you're putting in, if you don't start to celebrate your small achievements, you're never going to reach the large achievements. It is very easy to get on a path and think that my goal is the important part. But the goal is not the important part. The journey is the important part. Because you know what happens when you reach your goal? How long do you think you're really happy with it? How long do you think, honestly, that you're really going to be happy with that goal that you set? Once you achieve it, it's human nature to push more. So once you achieve that goal, I promise you, it's not going to last long that you're happy with it. You're going to have to push for more. Once you achieve the mountaintop, you use the view from the top to see your next goal. You use your view from the top to see the next mountain you will climb. But so many people get to the top and they're just like, hey, I did it. I did it. And they get so satisfied that they're no longer hungry. They get so satisfied and so full with their life that they say, oh, I did this. I did this. But do you want to know how you know if you're one of those people? Every time you come to a challenge, every time somebody tries to give you constructive criticism or feedback, you always go back to tell them what you have done, not what you're going to do. If you constantly rely on the things that are in your past to give you your success, that's done. You need progress. You need a target. You need a destination. You need to know where you're headed in life. If you don't have a target, you don't have a direction, you don't know what you're aiming for. And don't just have a target, be specific. Know the bullseye. When you get up and you're trying to figure out, man, like I'm not doing anything with my day, I feel so frustrated. That's because you don't have a target. You're going about and you have all the tools, you have all the energy, but you don't have the target. If you don't know what you're aiming for, I guarantee you'll miss it 100% of the time. Think about that. If you don't know what you're aiming for, I guarantee you will miss it 100% of the time. You need direction. If you go traveling, you're absolutely right. If you just keep going that in one direction, that's traveling, that's motion, right? That's energy. But how many of you are how many of you are getting caught up in the energy and the motion that you have and that you're doing, confusing that for actual progress? You're seeing yourself move and you're thinking that that's progress. But if you're not headed towards your goal, you're not making progress. It's just movement. A lot of people love to say that they're doing something, but what are you doing it for? Are you making progress to your destination? If you don't know what your destination is, you definitely are never going to get there. You have to pick a target. And if you want to be happy and you want to celebrate, pick targets that are achievable in the beginning. If your first target is a gigantic target way up in the difference, if you're just starting out and your target is Everest, you're probably not going to hit that target. Let's be honest. So pick a mountain that's a small hike. Don't try and attain greatness right out the gate. Come out the gate and learn to take steps. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, slide, pull yourself. Whatever you need to do, just keep moving forward. You want to know why that hits so hard? You want to know what great man said that? Martin Luther King. Another one. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just be willing to take the first step. Once again, I know that it's easy to get distracted by the struggles of the journey. And some people, I talk to people every day. They see the top of the hill. They see where they want to be, but they don't see the mountain in between. They're at the base of the mountain saying, I want to get there, but they don't even see what they're going to have to do in order to achieve it. They just see the goal. And then when they put in a little bit of work, when they're this far up the mountain and they haven't achieved it, they give up. They give up. They're like, you know what? I'm not going to get this. Of course you're not going to get it because you're not even appreciating the journey. The journey is where everything's gained. You don't gain everything at the end of the road. When you reach your destination, that's not when you get everything. You got everything getting to that destination. All the lessons that were learned in the journey. Destination is just the finish line. Think about it. When you're in a race, do you learn everything about yourself at the end of the race, or is the race over? It's during the race that you actually learn about yourself, that you're pushing, that, you have those moments where you test yourself and you get by that. And when you get by that in a race, it gives you confidence, it gives you momentum, and slowly that momentum will carry you to the finish line. But the finish line wasn't really the goal, was it? It was about pushing yourself to the point where you could get there. But so many people are so focused on the finish line that they never appreciate the work that they put in to get there. And that's why they fail. They don't see their progress. They only see that they didn't achieve their goal. And if you can't focus on your progress and celebrate your progress, you will never achieve your goal because you'll talk yourself out of it. We have a caveman brain inside here. And it's made to make us survive. It's not made to make us happy. It's not made to make us achieve what we want to achieve. It's made to make us safe. Our brains were created when there were dinosaurs outside and we feared everything because we were supposed to. But now we don't have to, but we still have the same biochemistry that makes you have fear and anxiety that something could happen so that you stay safe. You literally talk yourself out of every decision unless you act as quick as possible. You need to act as quick as possible. You need to get out there and make a difference. The world needs you. Your children need you. Your family needs you. But that's not the point. The point is that you need you. And until you can help yourself, until you can fix what's inside you that you think is broken, it's not broken. You're not broken. You're bent, you're tarnished, but it's nothing that I can't fix. It's something that we can't fix together. But what you have to understand is that you need to be able to see the tarnish. You need to be able to see the bend. You need to see where you need to put the work in order to know where you want to go. But if you just look at it and you're like, oh, I got a fucked up spoon. Yeah, you're right. You got a fucked up spoon. It's all about how you look at it. If you're going to put in the work, but have a direction. Know where you're going. If you want to straighten things out and shine them up, do that. If you want to go deeper and you want to find out what really makes you tick, do that. Trust yourself. You put yourself on this journey for a reason. God put you here for a reason. Don't be one of those people that constantly relive their problems over and over again because they're not looking for the lesson that they're there for. Every problem in your life is a lesson that you were supposed to learn. And if it's kept going, if it's kept repeating, that's just you ignoring God. That's God saying, you need to work on this and you need to pay attention to it and you need to focus on this and grow from it. And you're just like, no, I'm scared of it. I'm not going to do it. He gave you that message for a reason. But a lot of people see it and they're like, oh, you want to know what the number one addiction is in America? The number one addiction in America. A lot of people think that it's drugs. It's not. It's not even sugar, which most of us are addicted to on a daily basis. It's problems. The number one addiction in America is problems. And you want to know why we're addicted to them? Because we think we shouldn't have them. We think that we should have this perfect, easy life and that would be better for us. But no, it wouldn't. Because your problems are there to show you something about yourself. Your problems are there to show you something that you need to focus on in your life. But if you don't give it that focus, then you fail. If you don't learn the lesson, then you fail. So let me ask you this. Let's sit down a little bit. Let me ask you this. If you're in a bad state, and me and the challenge have gone over it this week, but I want to go over it with you guys in case someone does see this. If you get in a bad state and you don't know how to get out of it, let's say you're depressed and you're sad, right? I'm going to show you a secret right now before we get off here today in a way to take yourself out of that bad state and to put yourself into a great state. And I want you to know that it's like a muscle. You're going to have to work at it and put it into actual action for it to work. But I'm going to share it with you right now. I want you to think about a moment of pure gratitude. Pure gratitude. A moment that you were so grateful for, that you were just lucky to be a part of, and you were just amazed that you were given the opportunity. Whether it was getting married, whether it was having a child, whether it was getting a promotion, whether it was a new pet, whether it was your first house, whatever it could be, whatever you worked really hard for and you earned it and you have gratitude for it. Take that moment. I want you to take that moment and I want you to hold it as close to your heart as possible. I want you to close your eyes and only focus on how you felt in that moment. Not focus on the picture that you're seeing, but I want you to take yourself and put yourself into that picture. I want you to remember what it was like to wear the outfit that you were wearing. I want you to try and remember the sound that you heard. I want you to try and remember what the day was like. What'd your hair look like? Were you having a good day or a bad day? Be in that moment. And then once you're there, step into that moment of gratitude. See that moment of gratitude as if you were reliving it and you were in your shoes, going through it all over again. Enjoy it. Fill yourself up with it. Feel the joy and the gratitude. Absolutely come in to everything that you are and fill you up. You know what happens there? You cannot be full of gratitude and have an attitude at the same time. You can't be negative. You can't be hateful. You can't be spiteful. Only thing you can do is be gracious. Have gratitude in that moment, because when light is present inside you, darkness cannot exist. So in those moments where you're feeling darkness, when you're at your darkest moment and you feel like no one's there, no one can help you, you don't know how to get out of it, focus on that moment. Step into that moment. Live that moment. Because that moment happened just as much as this moment's happening. But if you want your next moment to be great, focus on the moments you're grateful for, not on the moments that you're angry about. You'll always get what you focus on. So focus on the right things. Make sense? I hope so. I know a lot of stuff that I go over, I get really passionate about, but I also want you guys to understand that there are days that all of us have struggles. There isn't a single person that's watching this video that hasn't struggled. Now, are their struggles the same as mine? No. But some are. Actually, probably a lot of them are. You feel alone. You feel like in a world where we should all be standing together, that we're all standing apart. You feel panic. You feel the anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen with the world the way that it is, with a pandemic and a depression and race wars all at one time. That's all of us. All of us are scared on both sides. Every race is scared right now. All people across the world are scared right now. And they may lash out in fear. But that's what they're lashing out as, fear. I need you to understand that. They don't want to hurt you. They just don't want you to hurt them. And the only way they know to express that is to lash out in fear, lash out in anger, and try and scare you away from them so that you can't hurt them. I know it's not healthy, but it's what we do. It's what we've learned so far as humans. We've evolved a lot, but not that much, apparently, because we shouldn't still be doing this. This is programming, people. Children aren't born racist. You are racist because of the surrounding influence that you have in your life. Racism is a choice. Hate is a choice. You choose to be good to that person or you choose to hate that person. Choose love. We are creatures made of love. Every pain that you have in your life is because you've denied someone love. Don't deny anyone love. Give it to your enemies. If you want to truly win your victories and be a champion of faith and love and life, give love to your enemies just as much as you give it to your friends, if not more, because they need it. Your friends have you. Your enemies don't. You know how many people out there that have hated on me and I've struggled with it? And, in the end, I always pray for them. Because if they're attacking me, something like I'm not a person that goes out and tries to find pain and fight and anger in the world. But every now and then when I find it, I feel bad for those people because I remember what it was like when I was like that. I was so unhappy with myself. I was angry at the world. I so hated everything that I was. So the only way that I could deal with that was to hate everything else just as much. Depression, anger, anxiety, social anxiety. When I was younger, I couldn't even go into a crowd of people because instantly I would get just panic. Panic would set in when I had to talk to a whole group of people because I was so worried about keeping everyone entertained. I didn't want one person in the room to feel like they didn't have my attention, but obviously that's impossible. But I didn't realize that, and I didn't realize how unhealthy that was. So I was judging myself harshly before I ever got up to do it. But I was priming myself. That's what you need to understand. I was priming myself to fail. That's what a lot of you do. You prime yourself to fail. You convince yourself of the reasons why you're going to fail so that when you fail, you're not mad about it. You're like, oh, well, duh. We knew that was going to happen. But imagine if you pushed yourself and primed yourself for success. Imagine if every time you had success, you had the same reaction that you have when you fail now. Oh, well, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew this was going to go well. instead of being like, I can't do that. If you tell yourself that you can't, you're right. If you tell yourself that you can, you're right. Because the only opinion that really matters is your own. Don't let other people's opinions become your opinion. Choose yourself. No one knows what you've been through. No one knows the struggles that you've gone through, and no one will ever be as proud of you as you. But if you can't find pride in yourself, look to other people. Look to that circle of influence. Look to the people that have seen you go through the struggles and they're proud of you. And if you don't have that, just know that I'm proud of you and that I love you and that I know you struggle every day and I know that it's hard and I know that you have negative thoughts and those negative thoughts creep in and sometimes make it seem like there is not a possible way for light to even get into your darkness. But I want you to know that I love you. And if you're here right now, I'm sending all of my love right to you. Because no matter how dark it gets, you will have me. You will have this group. We stand by each other. We grow together. This is not easy, but it's what we do. I have fought my entire life to become this motherfucker. I built him. And he's only getting stronger. We're only a couple of days in. At the end of this 90 days, I'm excited to see what happens. So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep it long this morning. I just kind of wanted to jump on here and touch base and kind of give you guys a point to focus on for the day. Have a target. When you get off of this, I want you to write down what your goal is for today. It doesn't have to be for a year or anything else, just for today. What's one thing you want to get done today? And then figure out a way to do it. Take action. I love you. I know that it's hard. I know that it feels crazy, but don't ever forget that. And no matter what you're going through, I'm one message away. I'm always here. You're not crazy. You're not alone. And we will get through this. I promise. All right. I love you. Hope you're having a great day. And I won't lie. I kind of liked ending that one on the dad. I know it's like a dad thing to do, but I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So I want you to think about this. Real talk. You ready? How do you make a napkin dance? You put a little boogie in it.